Guys, welcome back to the Cinemaxxers podcast for the third part of our third episode, which is our underrated and overrated movies. And we will be doing my overrated and underrated movies list. So, without further ado, let's get into that. I'll share my screen.
Excited for this one, Yoni.
Yep, to be
Now,
interesting.
I feel like there's going to be a fair few that either one of you guys or neither of you guys have seen, but that's been the case for all of us. I think I'm just going to start with the kind of one that we brushed past for Adam's overrated because I
I'm
said I was
excited for
going to
this
have
one.
it. And then we obviously had a lot to talk about for Adam's hot takes, so I thought we would just push this to mine because I feel like there's going to be not necessarily as many. That was pretty heated. That
Yoni, I know we both see the same one and we're gonna flame this kid for it.
No, Yoni, I know which one you're talking
Oh,
about, and Yoni shares the same opinion as me. So, or roughly, I think.
I we'll
We'll
see.
get to that. Start
Actually,
with one
unless
of
you're
the
talking
worst.
about the
No, no,
one.
no. Start with one of the worst movies we've ever seen together, Joseph.
So I will open with my thoughts on this movie. The first thing I will
You can
say
click on it
is
because we'll spend a bit of time on
the
it.
first thing I'll say about this movie is, it takes a village to make a movie, and any movie that gets made, people worked hard on it. So like,
Oh wait, well, who's the guy that always does
you
that?
gotta make an income somehow, right?
Was that
Um,
a quote from the movie?
no,
No, there's a guy that always says
Soups,
that.
Soups. You
Soups.
know he says that when he's talking about a bad movie.
Yeah.
He
Two
starts by
soups.
like congratulating the production team. Anyways,
Two soups.
um, I don't want to take away from anyone who likes this movie. It's their opinion, but the biggest issue for me, right? I didn't relate to the emotional aspect of this movie, and I also thought the humor, and there's other movies I don't relate to emotionally that I can be like, okay, whatever. The problem with this movie is the humor, in my opinion. The humor is not just not funny, it's so like distractingly bad and cringe and like Reddit humor that it completely shortcuts all the emotional moments. They'll cut to like a recurring gag in the middle of the emotional climax, which is not funny at all, and it's like the same potty humor gag that we've seen for the last hour and a half. And yeah, it was like so obnoxiously unfunny that it just made for a miserable viewing experience for me, which I know is an incredibly hot take because this is a 4.2 and won Best Picture. So, yeah.
So I'm just gonna piggyback on this because this was my biggest difference, and I guess yours the same because we both rated it. I'm pretty sure a 1 star. I might have had it 1.5. Um, when we watched this movie, Joseph, I was petitioning to turn it off halfway through. It was that bad.
You
Joseph
don't
made us
turn
stick
off a
it
movie
out.
though.
Yeah, Joseph made us stick it out because we usually, don't want to end a movie. That ended up being the wrong decision somehow,
No, it
even
was
though
the right decision
you should
because then
always
we
watch
wouldn't
a
be able to
movie through.
properly talk shit.
It was one of the most excruciating, awful, boring, and unfunny, which is a huge part of
I
it.
don't know if I would call it
Movies.
boring. It was
I, I'm
something
gonna
else
I'm gonna
than
tell you why
boring.
it's boring real quickly because I know it's all over the place. But just because something has a lot going on and all over the place doesn't mean it's not boring. Something can be boring if it has no intrigue to it. Not one point did I ever care about a single one of these characters. I don't
I'll
know if
tell
you
you why
agree with
I
that.
was intrigued. I was
Yeah,
intrigued by how it could get worse,
yeah,
and that was
that's
always paying
fair.
attention.
I was not attached to a single one of these characters. I didn't care what happened. I didn't care why. I wasn't like, oh, I hope this person doesn't do this. I was simply so disconnected from these characters. I felt nothing towards them. And it just made me like I had to get through the movie. Like it is what it is. It's a good thing we got through it so we could see
Adam.
how bad the ending was, because that's another thing. Just kind of like stupid. I mean, it's a dumb
Yeah, I
premise.
think Yoni wants to chime in.
But
Yoni.
yeah,
That
I'll
that
pass it over to you,
exact
Yoni. I was not connected to a single one of the characters.
that exact feeling you just described was me in Tenet. I haven't seen this movie though. Uh,
That's so
This shit,
disrespectful.
I mean, it's very convoluted. I mean, it's less convoluted than Tenet in the sense that, like, it's obvious what they're trying to do. It's just failing miserably for me. Again, like I said, if you emotionally connected with this movie and can relate to, like, the main character, like the daughter character in this movie, good for you, you know? It's always good that clearly there was an audience for this movie that connected with it, which is good. I'm not saying this movie shouldn't exist because it touched so many people. I just thought it was like completely a misfire for me. Like it just didn't work at all.
Best Picture is a
Um,
disgrace. It invalidated the entire category for me. It's crazy. What were the other movies in 2022 that were up against it?
Banshees of Inisherin, After Sun, Elvis, I think, The
I would have taken
Whale.
any movie over this, even though
I
I'm a
really think it should have been. I know Yoni is not a huge fan of Banshees of Inisherin, but that one or After Sun were my two favorite from that year. So, um, yeah, the one other thing I would say about this movie before we move on is like the philosophy that this movie is trying to preach is basically this kind of like millennial nihilism where nothing matters, but that in the end all you should do is go back to your family, which I feel like is kind of like a hypocrite, not like it's kind of I think paradoxical in an extent. Like nothing matters except for like the traditional family values, which I understand what they're trying to do, but it's like I feel like there's a kind of two conflicting messages a little bit, personally.
Yeah.
All right. I will go back to this. Have you either of you guys seen Donnie Darko?
Yeah, yeah.
Nope.
So this movie,
Wait,
and when
check what I
Yoni,
rated it.
you agree with this? You have it at a three. Wow.
Yep.
To me, this movie was one that I had some excitement for. A lot of people were like, "This is such a mind-bending movie." We won't really, Adam, we won't spoil it, because some people might like, you might like it, because I mean, I'm not saying like people who like it, um, I don't know, but. A lot of people like it, obviously, as a 4.0. A lot of people have it a 5 star, 4 star, as you can see. To me, this was the type of movie, and I don't like to use this phrase a lot because it's kind of like demeaning or like it kind of is a bit of like word salady. But I think this movie is pretentious. I think this movie is trying to be deep, but it's just like failing miserably. I think this movie thinks it's so much deeper than it actually is, without spoiling. I think it's
Yeah.
just trying really hard to be edgy. I don't know.
I
What do you
agree.
think, Yoni?
After watching this movie, I told you my opinion on it, and we shared pretty much the same exact opinion. I just don't think it's as good as it's trying to be. I don't think it's as good as people say it is. I just don't really think it is a great movie. I think it's fine. I think it's good. Um, but I don't think it's anything special.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah, I
end up
agree.
watching it because it is Jake Gyllenhaal, but yeah, obviously no opinions.
Yeah,
Jake
very young Jake
Gyllenhaal's
Gyllenhaal.
fine in it. He doesn't really give anything like outstanding, but he's fine. I mean,
I think he's fine, but I
he's
honestly
pretty
kind of don't
fitting for
like him in
Donnie
this
Darko, I
movie.
guess. It was a good chat. It was a good
I mean,
choice.
I'm reading the description. Plagued by visions of a large bunny rabbit. I
What I
guess.
would describe this movie, like my opinion is the audience for this movie are like edgy teenage boys who are confused about their place within the world, which there are movies for that, but I just feel like this movie is
Fight Club.
so like in your face about like who the audience is for in the sense that like I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure there's people outside that audience who enjoy the movie, but like I don't
If
know.
you plan on watching this, just go watch Fight Club or go rewatch Fight Club if this is the kind of movie that you're looking for.
Yeah.
All right,
I don't have anything else to say about this.
fair enough.
Next one. I don't have either of you guys
Yeah,
seen this?
don't because I'm very excited for this movie. I've heard
I will
great things.
not. Actually, I won't even click on it because I don't think you guys should read the description. But
All right,
um,
Right. This is an interesting one.
all I will say about this movie is I was very excited for it, and I was very disappointed because without spoilers, the way that this mystery, obviously it's a mystery movie, happens to me was unsatisfying, and also I didn't personally find that the movie placed its like stakes like or established its stakes in the right way. And I also didn't like the ending. Which I like I talked to my mom about this movie after because she read the book and she really liked the book, but she agreed that the movie was nowhere near as good as the book in her opinion, and she agreed with some of the same things I'm talking about. But again, I haven't read the book, but okay, now we are going to Joker 2019. I'm very conflicted on this movie because there's some parts of this movie I really like, and there's some parts where I'm like, this movie should not exist. I think I
this
said
movie's
this the first
amazing. I
episode.
love this movie, man. What do I
Um,
have it at? Four. Yeah, I think it's either a four or a four with a like. So it's either a four or 4.25 for me.
I think that this movie has some really good things in it, particularly Joaquin Phoenix for 90% of the movie. I think there's like one or two parts where I don't think he's doing the best, but
Which
like
part?
he's really good for what?
Which part?
I think his laugh is bad.
Oh, his last chilling. I
Which I
love.
think that's like a core part of the character. I don't know, it just didn't fully work for me. I think I think at the beginning of the movie. he gets off to a little bit of a slow start in terms of like how he gets into the character, but I think it's fine. I also think his acting in the um obviously spoilers if you haven't seen this, in like the Murray scene at the end is like a bit ridiculous, like personally.
Nah,
Not at all.
I
It's
don't
I
think
perfect
only
for the scene.
it's I think it's a little bit. It's not like bad acting. I just don't know if it's like the tone I would want from that
Did he
character.
won Best Actor for this, right?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, fully deserved. I'll say the question I have for you is not necessarily about acting or laugh. Why don't you think this movie should exist?
Because I don't think it's doing two things that are actually three things that are like problematic in my opinion. The first one is it's giving the backstory that's nobody asked for a character that's better without a backstory. And that's one reason why I just think. Second reason, it tries to be a deep social class commentary and also mental health movie, but it's super surface level on both of those topics. Like objectively, it's super surface level. I just think it does a disservice to both of those serious subject matters because of how surface level and like non-nuanced it is around those subject matters. Third reason is this movie is just a rehash of Taxi Driver and King of Comedy mixed together with Joker and uh like what's his name? Thomas Wayne as well as like a Batman character. Like it just is like a combination of movies that already exist.
I'll give my full thoughts on the movie real quickly. First, I've never seen King of Comedy, but from what you've described it at, it probably does sound similar. A guy that just embarrasses himself and doesn't really isn't aware. But Taxi Driver, I don't see almost any similarities. I know you told me
How?
going into
How do you
Taxi
see
Driver, you told me going into Taxi Driver to look out for the similarities. I didn't see almost any. But besides that, this movie is not only incredibly acted, but I think it's exactly what the Joker needed. I know you completely disagree with that, which is why this is just such a fundamental difference in opinion. I think the part where he met Thomas Wayne was a little bit of fan service. I don't think that was maybe needed
I
where they
agree.
meet in the bathroom. I think that was fan service. But I think we needed to see the Joker do something else than hate Batman. That's all we've ever seen of the Joker. Hate Batman and hate the city, want chaos. I want to know why he wants chaos, why he hates the city. This is exactly what it
I
provided.
kind of disagree. I think
It,
that's exactly what's good about the Joker is
no,
his motives are
I
unknown.
want to know why.
I also think before Yoni chimes in, Yoni chime in after I say this. You mentioned the Thomas Wayne thing. That's one of my other problems with
That's
this
the only
movie.
problem I have with it. Not the
And
only.
not just the fan
Not the
service
only.
part of it. Thomas Wayne and what he represents in this movie, he is basically this cartoonishly evil, just like absolute dick, billionaire guy. And it's totally kind of like not what do you call it? Um not realistic to an actual like the social commentary required for this movie to have the evil or what you're fighting against just be like this cartoonishly evil billionaire in a movie that's supposed to be grounded in like realism in terms of the commentary it's establishing, if that makes sense. But Yoni, go ahead.
so. In terms of whether the Joker should have a backstory or not, I think the Joker is a better character without a backstory. I mean, I think that's kind of what makes him so special as a villain. But also, I do like the movie and I like the backstory that they gave us. So I'm kind of in the middle of you guys, but part of the reason why I like this movie is because I feel like heading into a Joker movie, and this is also, even though Folie à Deux was bad,
I've
uh,
heard that. I haven't watched it. I've heard it's awful.
even when you go into Folie à Deux, I'm just gonna spoil this kind of Easter egg in Folie à Deux.
Go for it. I don't care. I'm not
You
watching.
see a small hint of Two-Face. And when you're heading into these Joker movies, you're like, oh my God, that's Thomas Wayne. That's Wayne. It's Batman. You know? Or it's like, oh my God, there's something like related to the Batman universe and Gotham in general. But I think Joker's a better character without a backstory. I gave this movie, what did I give it? 3.5.
I think three or three and a half.
I'm
I
kind of
give
Three
it
and
a
a
half.
half.
I'm kind of in the middle of you two. I really like Joaquin Phoenix. I really like the ending also.
The ending's
I think it
great.
does a decent job at tackling mental health. I don't think it does as poor of a job as you say. I don't think it's necessarily a movie that definitely needed to be made. People were asking for it because people really love the Joker, and there is a fan base that wants the Joker to have a backstory, but there's also just as big, if not bigger, of a fan base that wants to keep it as the Joker is not a character with a backstory. He's just a Batman villain, and he's better that way. And I'm kind of more on that side, but I enjoyed the movie, and I thought they did a good job of giving us a Joker backstory, even though I wouldn't 100% prefer it. So I'm really in the middle of you two.
Joseph,
Mhm.
Joseph, I have
Yeah,
I have a question. You talk about how you think this does a disservice to the mental health. I
and
think
the social commentary.
and the social commentary. The thing I want to say about that is it's Gotham. Obviously the
Then
main
it
wait.
should
Let me just
be Gotham.
let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. The main premise is that just to recap, obviously that the social workers aren't funded enough. They're not paid enough, and they can't help truly mentally troubled people. It's Gotham. It's supposed to be crazy. It's supposed to. There's supposed to be crazy people all over the place, and that's part of it. You have to understand that it's
It just
also
doesn't
Gotham.
balance trying to fit in the Batman universe and trying to be its own
I think it
socially
balances it
complex
very
film at
well.
the same time.
I think it balances it well.
Yeah, I think that's
I don't
exactly what
agree.
it does well. It balances showing that mental health isn't talked about enough while also admitting it's Gotham.
It's just, but you're just saying the fact that the mental health is a theme, and you're not explaining what's nuanced. Like they literally have a scene where he writes in his notebook the words mental health. Like it's like that's the definition of telling you and not showing. Like he
I don't
writes in
remember
his
that,
notebook the
but
words mental health, and like
okay.
it's the camera
How
stays
about
on
if you want to show not tell? How about when another spoiler, obviously. How about when he goes and kills the person on the train because they're making fun of him for his laugh? Is that showing or telling? That's showing.
but it's not showing it. That's not an
It's
accurate
showing that
representation of
people.
mental health.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. The way the movie portrays mental health is like if you don't get treatment, you're going to become a psychotic loner who like kills
No, it's an
people.
example of it, and you also
And
have to
then it
remember
also
in the
shows that the
context of
other
that
kind of
he's the
mentally ill
Joker.
people that are poor also are just like lunatics on the streets. Which I know if this was a like a pure Gotham movie, it would make sense because Gotham is known for being crazy and like there's things, but it's trying to balance. It's not. I don't think it does a good job of balancing what the movie wants to be. With that said, again, I'm giving all these negatives. I still think it's fine as a movie if it exists, right? Because I think Joaquin Phoenix carries it. And I actually do like De Niro. De Niro's character, like he's fine as well. Like I think De Niro's kind of charming in it, but like again, he's not really a deep character or anything. Um, I don't know. That's kind of just what I think. But
Yeah, the
yeah,
only reason why it's not in the elite tier for me is two reasons. One, I didn't love the whole plot with the other woman, the African American one that he meets in his apartment and how he like dreams, you know that kind of weird plot line. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
most of that could have been cut out. And I also I mentioned earlier, I think I have a small issue with the I don't know, I'm blanking,
The
but
Thomas
I don't have too
Wayne.
many issues. It's what were you saying?
Was it the Thomas Wayne thing or no?
Yes, yes, sorry, it's the fan service.
Yeah.
But other than that, I thought it's a very good movie.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to say about this, or should we move on?
No.
All right, let's move on. I think
Um,
this might be controversial because let me see. You have it a 3.5. You have it a 4. So for those who don't know, all three of us play poker a lot. We really enjoy poker.
If you're wondering who the best is, just
Yeah,
look
that's
right
fine.
here.
Yeah, you went down 600 in a
I went
casino.
down 100. Okay,
I
by
went
the
up
way, we're cutting that
150.
out because our parents watch this. We're cutting that out. So I said who's the best. You didn't have to mention that. I've also won up the most out of all three of us in the US, by the way, just so you know.
You've
But
also played longer. I think I averaged
restart
in the
rounders.
US, like
all right,
merchant,
I'll restart rounders. Okay,
Restart
fine.
rounders. Don't mention
Um,
rounders, but you can mention poker.
all right, now we're on rounders. For those who don't know, the three of us really
This
enjoy
movie's
playing
so good.
poker. We know a lot about it, so I was excited for this movie because it is the quintessential kind of, or one of the main poker movies people talk about.
Yep.
Um, I just think it's like pretty mid. Like I don't think it does anything egregiously bad. I think the poker aspect is actually kind of cool. It actually is pretty cool. The poker stuff is good, I think, for the most. Even though it's obviously unrealistic, that's just how poker movies are. Like if you've seen Casino Royale or any other movie that involves poker, the hands are obviously going to be unrealistic. Um, I thought everything outside of the poker part of this movie was just like honestly didn't interest me. And then John Malkovich, I'm very split on this part. He plays KGB Teddy or whatever, Teddy
Yeah,
KGB.
Teddy KGB.
Part of me thinks his accent is horrible, and the other part of me thinks it's so bad that it's kind of charming and funny. So I would love to hear what you guys have to think about that.
I think he purposely did it poorly. I think that's part of the character.
I think it's fine. I think it's funny.
Yeah, me too.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm kind of split. I don't
Okay,
know.
well, other than him, you said outside of the poker, you're not interested. Tell me which plot lines you didn't
I feel like
like.
there's not that much outside of the poker.
Yeah.
Like
No, I mean, and most of it is like he wants to like
he's trying to
he
like
needs.
recover his debts, and that's like
Yeah, I
Sounds
just didn't
poker with
find
a
any
romantic
of the
relate.
characters. I didn't find Edward Norton's character particularly interesting.
I'm with you. I
I didn't
love
find
Edward
Matt
Norton's
Damon
character, but
particularly interesting outside of his
disagree.
poker.
No, I disagree.
Um, I like
I
the scene where like he was with like his I don't know if it's his professor, but like he's with
yeah,
like
like
the
teacher or whatever.
yeah
Yeah.
with them playing poker, and he's kind of like seeing how they're playing. And it's kind of interesting, and he's
A little
um,
corny.
I
but
love the scene where he gets caught cheating in the bar.
yeah, that seems cool. But I don't know. I just thought it was like kind of mid, to be honest. I don't have anything egregiously bad to say about it, but I just didn't think there was anything very good about it either.
It's an amazing movie. 4 stars, not 4.5 level, but it's damn close.
I think it's a good movie. I think it's very good. I give it a 3.5, but
I think the reason Joseph doesn't like this is because he's last in the rankings.
Oh, okay, that's why. That's a good criticism from you for sure. Can I ask why you think this is like you said the word amazing movie? I can
Yeah,
understand saying
no,
this is a good
four
movie.
stars means it's a
I have no
very, very good movie.
no, I know, but
Yeah.
I understand if Yoni or someone says this is a good movie. I think this is borderline a good movie. Like I have it at a three, but like it's probably like not that far off a 3.5. But I just like I don't see what about this movie could make it like better than a 3.5, to be honest.
Oh, it's just it's perfect in the sense that it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It doesn't try and stray far from it. It's trying to be a funny poker movie that also has some underlying emotional message, and it also has the final showdown, which was just amazing. Like it does exactly what it needs to do. It's not trying to be something else. Like you mentioned with Joker, it's trying to this is doing exactly what it meant, what it wants to do, and it does it very well. Again, it's not in my elite tier because it doesn't do anything like unreal, but it does exactly what it wants. I love the subject of poker, and it's a great movie.
I think if this movie, instead of being 2 hours, was like an hour and 40 minutes or an hour and
What part would you
35
cut?
minutes,
it's a
so
bit
much of the
long.
non-poker stuff. If they're trying to be just a strictly poker movie, I think it would have been better. I don't think they should like if they're gonna have like outside stuff, which obviously it's gonna have it, it's a movie. If they're gonna have like trying to do these emotional plot lines, I think it's worse to do them poorly or to do it so that you just don't care and have that as like the filler than to just not focus on that at all. I would have preferred if they just went like a super poker heavy direction, to be honest. Like
I
more
feel
so than they did.
like it's pretty poker
Yeah,
heavy.
well, what Joseph, you keep saying outside of the poker, if they
You
stop
have
focusing, can you give an example? I'm kind of confused.
you have all his scenes with like Edward Norton's character where he's like being a dick or when he's in like was he in the gymnasium or when he's
Yeah,
just
it was a
like
gym.
um like I'm sorry, but that's not I don't care about that stuff. It doesn't move me at all. All the stuff with his girlfriend or like whatever um
It's
doesn't
just kind
move
of
me.
undeveloped, I guess.
Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. Like if you're gonna do all that outside stuff, I'd rather you just not do it and focus more on the poker and cut runtime than do it like underdeveloped, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I kind of have that similar thing. I don't think it's like anything amazing, but I think it's very good.
Down the
Okay.
rankings.
Any other thoughts on this or should we move on?
Just down the rankings.
Okay. This
I,
next one, I don't think either of you guys have seen this. I'm not really gonna speak on it for very long. It's not even rated that highly. I think it's 3.3. All I'm gonna say, this is like a semi-alien prequel. Like it is in the Alien universe. I love the franchise. This movie just was like has the dumbest characters imaginable. That's like the one thing I'm gonna say. Like they're supposed to be it's like imagine that one critique I had about Interstellar where I'm like there's one scene where the scientists are really dumb. Imagine that's the whole movie. That's all I'm gonna say about this movie.
Okay.
Um this
Gladiator.
This
Interesting.
is not, this is my highest rated one on this list because I actually like the movie a fair bit. I think I have it
Never
at
watched it.
3.5, but like I have it pretty close to a 4. Like I have no problem with a 4. I just completely disagree when people put it in like the absolute elite tier of movies, which 4.2, a lot of people would think that, or
Yeah,
a
on
lot of people
Letterboxd,
put
that's
it
pretty
in this.
elite.
I have it as a 4.5.
It's one of my next
Um,
watches. I've heard it's very good.
I think it's a very good movie. I just don't think it's, yeah, I don't think it's elite, like a lot of people say. Mainly, you haven't seen it, Adam, is that what you said?
Yeah, I
All right,
haven't
so I
seen
won't spoil. Mainly because um I think the performances are really good, but I also just think that there is some really good scenes in this movie. I just feel like once you get to the second half of this movie, it just doesn't really move me, to be honest.
I've heard
Actually,
this is
I don't
one
know
of the
if
more
second
moving
half is the right word.
films.
Huh?
I've heard this is one of the more moving films.
It's moving, like the ending, or specifically, there is one scene that is very moving emotionally. And I will say the ending, there is definitely a scene as well. I just think there's like a huge middle stretch. I think second half is the wrong way to use it. There's a huge middle stretch of this movie where, like, it's just not on that le like this movie
That's
has
Django.
this
That's
movie
exactly what I was
frustrates me
saying with
because
Django.
there's so many moments that has like elite potential or that are genuinely amazing scenes, but there's just also scenes that I'm just like really think are 3.5 level or like just kind of like okay. Like again, nothing egregious. It's just I don't like
Kind of get that. I thought you were a bit lower on this movie than a three
no.
and a half. I mean, you seem to really like it. Um, I have it as a 4.5. I think that there are really, really great moments. I
I
really
agree
like
with that.
the time period also.
I've only heard good things about this movie.
I mean, I have nothing really that negative to say, except that I feel like there's kind of a little something missing. I don't really know exactly,
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know
exactly
exactly what it
how
is.
to say it, but there's a little something that pushes it over the edge into like one of the best movies ever. I can kind of see why you put it in the overrated because a lot of people say it's like one of the best movies ever, and they kind of group it in that tier of like best of the best. Maybe it's Russell Crowe, but I don't think so. I think he's really
I
good.
think he's Russell Crowe's. I mean, he won Best Actor, but I think he's really good in it. I think the problem is like for me, this movie follows like it starts off really interesting, and then again the middle portion, and for a lot of it, it just follows kind of like a really baseline like archetype for what this type of movie is. Like it doesn't really take any huge swings, or like I don't think it utilizes the act like the set pieces or the crazy sets like in the way that it
Arsenal?
should necessarily. Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine.
I mean, I think the fight scenes are good.
I think the fight scenes are good. I just feel like a lot of this movie could be doing, like you said, a little bit more to push it over the edge. It just feels like a big stretch where no, despite how like great the sets are and great like the acting is and everything like that, it just feels like they're playing it too safe, I feel like, for a lot of this movie.
Yeah, I would agree. This movie is kind of in a very similar conversations to Braveheart, and I think Braveheart does exactly what this misses to make it a 5.
Okay.
Just
I think that's enough for Gladiator. The last one, have you guys either of you guys seen Drive?
I've
No,
seen it.
we don't have to.
Talked about it.
Yeah, we don't have to.
To
Good, good,
me, this
good
is one of
pick.
the rare movies, again, without spoiling, where there's too much like it's style over substance in my opinion, which a lot of
That's
movies
pretty
it's
much
really hard to
Tarantino.
do.
You just
No.
described Tarantino.
I don't think this is really good style though. I don't really
I
think.
kind of find it a little bit similar to Donnie Darko, not in the sense that it's trying to be deep because it's really not trying to be that deep in terms of like the way the style is done is I think it's trying to mimic like the style of a classic super stylized movie. It just didn't really work for me. I also think there's a point in the movie where it like takes a turn and I'm like I don't think that was the right play like way to go personally.
I also
Um
think that there are many scenes where Ryan Gosling is like nonverbal and like, and it creates really, really awkward scenes
yeah.
and
Also,
moments.
Bryan Cranston is in this movie for some reason. Like he's good in
Oh,
it.
might have to check it out.
But like I
He's
also just
I
Walter
watched
White.
this. I watched this like maybe 3 months ago, and I honestly forgot he was in it. And
yeah, like
I love Walter
he's
White. But yeah, I mean,
a lot of
it's
people love
two and
this
a half.
movie. To me, it was too much of like again, yeah, style over substance.
I have it as a 2.5. I think it's just like honestly the definition of mid.
Okay, now for some underrated films. I'm gonna start with Inside Llewyn Davis, which I think Yoni has seen a while ago. Adam hasn't seen. This movie has an average rating of a 4, which is really good. I have it at a 5. This was like very, I think this movie is very moving. I think the subject matter that it tackles is very real and like down to earth. And I think it has there's a lot of truth to this movie in terms of like the way it handles the subject matters of like failure and depression and trying to make it up and coming.
Or do I see
Um,
Justin Timberlake?
yes, he is in like a couple scenes. He's actually decent.
Interesting.
I mean, if you want to check out Timberlake, Social Net, he's actually, I think he should have gotten a supporting actor nomination for Social Network. Personally, I think
Oh,
he's that good in the Social Network. I think he's that good in the Social Network. But
No, he's really
um,
good. Everyone in that movie is great though.
yeah.
yeah,
Are you guys excited for the Social Reckoning?
no,
Yeah.
No, really.
because Fincher's not directing it.
Hmm. Sorry, continue.
I also think Oscar Isaac gives one of my favorite performances of all time in this movie. It's just like a really, melancholic performance, but there's also a lot of like humanity, and you can see his struggle, I feel like. Yeah, this movie I think really made an impact on me, and I think everyone should probably watch this movie at some point. I understand if it's not everyone's thing. Some people might find it polarizing, but I thought it was amazing. So,
Yeah.
Sounds like a movie I'd hate, but I'll eventually give it a shot.
Honestly, I remember watching this a while ago and not really loving it. I didn't really, I
What do
thought
you
it was,
have it rated, just or Yoni?
yes, it had a
uh,
3 star.
take it with a big grain of salt because I plan on rewatching this, but I have it as a 3 star. I remember it being really, I guess you could say boring and slow, but I'm gonna rewatch it and give it another try. I don't even really remember anything about it, but it just, I guess at the time was not a movie that I liked, but I'm definitely I'll watch it again. I don't really have anything to comment on besides at the time when I watched it, I thought it was boring.
Okay.
Like just
Okay.
not interesting to me.
Okay. It's definitely a movie if you like that's more introspective and melancholic, I would say. All
What
right,
is it?
next up, I have The Insider. Yoni has it at a 3 stars again.
Never heard of
Um,
this.
well, it only has 26,000 or I think it only has like 26,000 letterbox reviews or something,
Yeah,
which
I've
like for
never.
example, like Ratatouille had like 310,000 for example. So this again, this movie has a 4.1 and I have it at a 4.5. The reason I'm including this is because
Yeah, I've never
not a
even
lot of
heard of
people
it.
know about this movie. So
Oh, and it has Al Pacino. Huh.
and
Okay.
Russell Crowe and Christopher Plummer. It's an
Wow.
amazing cast, especially that top three. And it's about it's a true story and it's about journalism. Um,
I'll have to look this
basically,
up.
anyone can look up the story that leads up to it. It's about the Weigand interview. The for the basically like tobacco or cigarettes research or whatever in the 90s, and it's based on a true story. I'm sure there's some embellishments, but I think there's a lot of truth to this about like um, the way like corporate America prioritizes money over like humanity, I think, in the ways that it tackles like thematically. I think Russell Crowe and Al Pacino and Christopher Plummer, who all play obviously real people, are all amazing in this movie. I think it's like Pacino's most underrated performance, and like Christopher Plummer um, gives like to me an iconic performance as well. Probably the best in the movie, and that's like saying a lot. I just thought it was just one of those movies I watched and like I really liked it at first, but the more I thought about it, the more it moved me into what it was, the subject matter, and like yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, I really like Michael Mann. He's definitely one of my like 10 favorite directors.
What else has he made?
Heat. He's made Collateral, which I saw was later on this list. Great take. Um, correct me if I'm wrong. He made Less Than the Mohicans,
He made
right?
The Last of the Mohicans,
Heat.
Thief. He made Miami Vice 2006, which it's on my watch list. I haven't seen.
But
Some other
it
stuff as
doesn't
well.
make movies.
He does a lot of like crime
Yeah,
genres.
making Heat too.
Yeah, which I'm
I
stoked
actually
for.
thought this was a relatively underwhelming Pacino performance, and he's probably my favorite actor ever. And I thought it was a underwhelming Russell Crowe performance, but this
Really?
might be because I watched A Beautiful Mind, which my dad recommended to me, and it had Russell Crowe. And this movie was basically the same character, not same character, but same performance from Russell Crowe, except toned down, where he's kind of being psychologically driven, crazy and psychologically paranoid, where A Beautiful Mind was this performance times like 10. So maybe at the time that I watched it, it was a bit underwhelming of a performance for me. But I think the main issue I have with this movie is it took a long time to kind of get going, and I thought it kind of took a while to get to the main.
You're thinking of Arrival, not The Insider.
I'm not thinking of Arrival. I didn't find the plot super interesting because it took a long time to, I guess, intrigue me or to get there for me. But those are my thoughts on it. I don't remember it super well. I was not that interested in it.
I mean, I agree that sometimes it can feel slow for sure. So if someone says that like it dragged or the pacing was a problem to them, I could understand that. But yeah, I think it's really well made and I think the acting is great and I think it's a very interesting true story. So I have it at 4.5 and I had it on the list. So next one, also Michael Mann, just underrated director in general, is Collateral.
God, all your
Um,
underrateds I just never watched.
this movie, honestly, the word I would use is sick because this movie is just sick, honestly.
In a different way than Django. It's just
Yeah, don't
cool.
spoil this one. It looks
It
good.
also has Jamie Foxx as the lead, so um
Yeah.
Oh, I see
basically
Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem is in it, but he's not like a main character. It's really Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx, Jada Pinkett Smith, and then Mark Ruffalo are kind of the more important characters. I'm actually gonna exit out just because I feel like reading the. Well, let me go back for one
I
sec.
already
It
read
has a
it. I
3.9
already read
average.
it. I already read it.
Um, I think that this movie is again similar to The Insider. It's just that a lot of people don't know about this movie, which is why I'm highlighting it here. Even though I
Okay.
kind of agree with the score. Um, I just think it's super cool. It's a great watch. Tom Cruise is amazing. Jamie Foxx is really good. Um, yeah, I just think it's super underrated because
Yeah.
not a lot of people have seen it.
Good take.
I'm excited for the next one.
I also like how at the beginning of the movie, the conversation that Jamie Foxx is having with the woman that he's driving as the cab driver kind of circles back at the end of the movie. You know what I'm talking about, Joseph, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I like that. I think the best scene is probably, I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's just an action sequence where they're at like a nightclub and there are a lot of cool
Mm.
flashing lights, and that's just I'm watching that, it's just so cool.
There's also the one that's like the train.
Yeah.
Without spoilers.
No, it's
That's
really great. It's not like shooting for the stars, but it just does everything really great.
yeah,
I was a 4 star, and 4 star for me is a great movie. I love Tom Cruise.
yeah.
I actually wish that took him in my actors draft instead of Brad Pitt. If I could go back and take somebody else instead, I would have rather Tom Cruise over Brad Pitt.
Damon Moggs both?
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my take on Collateral.
Yeah. Um,
All
all
right.
right.
Planet of
Next
the
one
Apes.
is Dawn of the
I'm
Planet
going
of
to
the
stop
Apes.
you real quickly here, Joseph. You have finally made a good take. Everyone, applause.
I'm,
Joseph
I,
Heenan has
I
made an
think most of my
amazing
takes have
take.
been pretty good, but
I'm
okay.
not
This
gonna, I'm
is an
applauding for a
unbelievable
different
take from
reason.
Joseph Heenan.
I'm applauding for a different reason, but it's a great
Okay.
movie.
You're applauding because of the sick ass backdrop in the poster.
Yeah.
Wait. Could you peep mine? I remember mine was. I think
You
is this
peep
the
your
one
own.
with? You'll see if you scroll down right
D
there.
Dawn is just
I
so
won't see
cool.
if I scroll down,
If
actually.
you click it, it won't show it. It
No,
won't show my back tab.
Dawn is
because you
so
didn't
cool.
log the movie recently.
I think it'll show it if you click it. Let
No,
me.
it won't. If you didn't watch the movie recently, in your diary, it won't show it.
Damn. Never mind.
It will just show my so this movie is a 3.8, which I understand. Some people might just think it's like a franchise action movie. I have it at 4.5 because I think it's a great movie across like multiple genres. Um, as like a movie about community and like bonding, like the bonds between family and even if that's not someone exactly like you, like the bonds between like the human family, like Jason Clarke's character and some of the apes, like Maurice. I also think the world building that this adds to the Planet of the Apes trilogy is super interesting and like well developed, and the action sequences are super cool and interesting. Obviously, spoilers if you haven't seen the movie, but like I think Koba is an amazing villain, and like I think the whole final kind of climax with the both the tower collapsing and what's going on with the Caesar and Koba and what's happening underground with Gary Oldman as kind of the villain, but he's very relatable because he's doing it for what he thinks is humanity and for the like what he thought his family would want to do. And like the tension between him and Jason Clarke's character as kind of the guy that understands that the apes aren't evil and they're not there for destruction. Um, I think it was just like it's a super good viewing experience, a movie I like love to rewatch, honestly. So
Yeah, great take.
Yeah, I would say I absolutely love this movie. I'm double checking right now. Yeah, I have all three rated at a 4 star. I unfortunately have this as the weakest in my opinion, and
Wow.
that
Wow.
and that's crazy to say. This doesn't include Kingdom, by the way. This is of the three.
Yeah, of the trilogy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How
the
is this
trilogy. I don't
worse than
include
Rise?
I don't include Kingdom. I love the backstory. I love Rise.
I
I
think
actually
Rise is
might have
pretty good.
Rise over
It's good.
or sorry. Is Rise?
Rise is one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. Rise is, in my opinion, my favorite. I love the backstory, the bringing up of Caesar is my favorite part about this trilogy is when he's
100%.
growing up.
I do have Rise over War. I have both of those other ones at 3.5s.
Really,
And this is
the
my clear
reason I
favorite
like
in the
Rise so much
trilogy.
is because when Caesar is growing up in the house, and when he eventually like the scene at the window, I think that's where this trilogy shines. I don't think this trilogy. I think this trilogy is great with the action. I think it shines when Caesar's growing up for me.
Can you go to Rise and see what we all have it as?
Yeah, I have all of them
I
rated
bet
a
it
four
at three
star. I was
five,
double
I
I think I
checking.
believe.
have it as a 3 or a 3.5, but definitely a good movie.
3.5 for
Yeah,
Yoni,
yeah.
4 for Adam.
Yeah, I have all four or all three at four.
I have
And
then
I
what
have
about
War at
War?
a 3.5 as well.
I think probably the same.
You want me to check? I can check. So it's interesting because I rewatched this trilogy in its entirety last like a year ago.
Me too. Yeah.
And
Shout
to
out
me,
Rebecca.
Dawn was clearly the best. And actually, War kind of went down for me. I think I
Yeah.
had War at a 4, and I didn't like it as much on rewatch. I like
Interesting.
Rise went above it in my rankings.
I
Yeah,
think Rise.
for me, War and Dawn are very similar. They're both action-driven movies.
Sorry, let me go to lists.
I think for
Um,
me, Rise is pretty clearly the best. Or sorry, Dawn is pretty clearly
Dawn,
the best,
yeah.
and
Interesting.
Rise and War are both very good movies. So
Yeah,
it's a
you could put it in any order. I have them all at the same stars.
it's a great trilogy.
Amazing
All
trilogy.
right. All
So
right.
underrated.
So I have a couple more. I don't think either of you guys have seen this movie, Wind
I haven't
River.
seen any of the next three.
Oh,
Wind
you haven't
River,
really? I
all I
love.
will say about this movie is it's pretty underrated because I don't think a lot of people know about it. Um, the cast is pretty good. It's like led by Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen, so you would know them from the MCU, obviously. I think they give some of their best performances in their career in this film, especially Jeremy Renner. Um, it's a
Wait, can you scroll
very
down?
emotional. Hmm?
Can you scroll down? I'm pretty sure I just put this on my watch list the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put this on my watch list a few days ago. I saw it on TikTok.
Um, this movie is like very emotional, and I think it does have a lot to say about the subject matter that it covers. I think it's a really interesting kind of mystery story while also being having good social commentary. I just thought it was very moving and well made, and the performances were really good. So, and more people should see it. So,
Cool.
Knives Out, the first Knives Out
I
movie.
don't think this is
I
underrated to
think it
say
is. I mean, I have it set at
it's an average
4.
of a four. This is a consensus amazing movie.
I don't think it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it,
go look at your friend's rating. Scroll down.
I've heard a lot of praise about this.
3, 4, 5, 3, 5, 5. See, like half the people have it 3. Like, I mean, I guess a lot of
I
people have
guess.
like.
Me personally, you go ahead first, your list, but I saw this in theaters. This is an amazing movie.
I love this movie. The reason I think it's underrated is because I think a lot of people see it as like just a good movie, like or a really good movie that is kind of like does good with what it is. I do genuinely think this is like a borderline masterpiece, at least for what it is. Or the like obviously it's not trying to be like a an ensemble or like a super masterful film just across all walks of life, but for what this movie's going for, I think it executes it perfectly. I think all the characters are like interesting, and I think this is like one of those movies where it feels lived in. Like every character feels like a real, even the characters that are kind of side characters and you don't like get to know super well, they still feel like real characters, like with complexities, even though you like honestly you
Yeah.
don't necessarily know all of what their complexities are to me.
But Yoni, did you say you did or you didn't watch this?
I haven't seen this. I'll
Yeah,
watch it.
I would put this high on your list. This is a
It's
great
like
movie. I
it's,
saw it
it's
in
like a
theaters
murder
when it
mystery, right?
it's yeah, it's a murder mystery. Um, yeah, I mean, I think it did so many things right. You can see the cast is pretty good.
Yeah,
It
it's got an
also showed
ensemble.
my goat Chris Evans. It showed he can do more than a Captain
I think it's
America.
his best career performance
Yeah,
personally.
probably. And Daniel Craig is. I was so used to like seeing clips of him as James Bond, and then he just kills it in this role. So I also shout out to both of those.
I think one movie that didn't make the list that Joseph and I can agree on, Drook. Have you
Oh
watched
yeah, yeah, another round trick. The only
that?
reason I didn't include that is because I feel like their average rating is like pretty high. Like I think it's like I have it at a 4 and the average rating is like a 4.1.
I don't know. There's something about it. It's just like really enjoyable.
It's really enjoyable, but it's also like it covers a serious subject matter, but in like a kind of lighthearted way, but it also does show the consequences at the same time.
Yeah, that's
It's a Danish film with Mads
a fun movie
Mikkelsen.
to watch. Like it was
Yeah,
just like I just really enjoyed it.
I agree. I think it's like it's a very strong 4 for me. Um,
I haven't seen your next.
Yeah, I
so
haven't
this
seen
next
yours.
one is Alien Romulus, which
Never seen this.
I'm gonna mute for a sec. Sorry, pause.
Yeah, we can edit this out.
All right, I'm just gonna put AirPods in, and then we can like redo me doing Alien Romulus because I don't know if you hear that, but
Right.
hello.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, hold up. All right, so we're just gonna like cut that, and then I'm gonna go on Alien Romulus, and then all right, all right. So we're on Alien Romulus now. I just had to put AirPods in quickly, but basically, this movie is pretty underrated in my opinion because it came out a couple of years ago, and it's obviously part of the Alien franchise, which is like a beloved franchise. And the biggest criticism of this franchise is that it fell off after the first two movies, which is absolutely true. However, I think this movie was a great return to the franchise, and I think a lot of people like undervalue it because I genuinely do think it's a super enjoyable kind of space horror sci-fi movie that um frankly like it's none as good as the first two because those are both incredible pioneering films in the genre, but I think it's really, really good. And I think anyone who likes the Alien franchise should watch this. If you put it off because you were disappointed with the other kind of newer movies they tried to make with Alien that didn't live up to the hype, I'm not going to say it's as good as the first two, but it's really good and really enjoyable, especially if you like the Alien franchise and the vibes. So
That poster is
this
insane.
one,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
I think it's
Yeah.
also the most. Sorry, what are you gonna say?
I haven't
Uh,
seen it, but I really like Alien and I really, really like Aliens. So if I ever
oh,
watch
those
another,
are in the same franchise?
yeah, of course.
I always assumed they were like completely different and people
Uh,
mix them up.
No,
I've
if I
never watched.
Aliens is the
I haven't watched
sequel.
either.
if I watch an Alien uh sequel, I will definitely watch Romulus.
Yeah, you don't need to have any prior knowledge going into this. It's like a standalone and like
Which one's first, Alien or Aliens?
Alien.
Alien. This is a standalone and like, I would say the biggest criticism of the other Alien movies after Alien and Aliens is like they kind of went too far away from what the originals were doing, which made them so good. I think this is like a nice Alien Romulus is like a nice balance of like what made the originals good. It has some of the aliens kind of stuff and the alien kind of stuff more so than any of the other ones recently, I think. So I think this is like a perfect movie to throw on at like midnight or like pretty late. If you're not trying to watch something super serious or super complex necessarily, that's just a fun, enjoyable watch with good cinematography, good visuals, um, and like kind of the classic Alien experience. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Do we have any
All
honorable
right.
mentions from anyone you want to bring up? Anything we might have forgot?
Well, I don't want to get into this, but like I thought about putting this as overrated, but I don't think they're high enough rated. I mean, the first two prequels are not good
Oh, no, they're
movies.
completely fairly rated. People hate on them enough. You could say I overrate them because the most of the discourse you've had is with me, and I think they're great
Yeah.
movies.
Well, that's
But
why I didn't include them
yeah, no, the
because
consensus is that they're not very good movies.
I don't know.
We could
I do think the
debate,
pendulum has swung back that people are kind of liking
and
them
it's
now, but
deservedly
I just
so.
don't
They're
think they're
great
very
movies.
good.
They're
No,
very
they're
good
really
movies,
not.
but
But
very good movies.
um no, I think I covered across like what I wanted to do for the most part with this overrated underrated. Hope you guys found those unless you guys have any other comments, we can wrap up.
No, I think we can wrap it up.
All right. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed the three-parter that we just did with myself, Adam, and Yoni's overrated and underrated movies. Tell us if you agree or disagree with our takes. Subscribe, and we'll see you next time.